So at the top of the chart, we start with the Almighty, all-sourceful Father. You want to call him God, you want to call him the Creator, that's fine. And I have a quote there from the King James Version of the Bible that says, I form the light and create the darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. And I reiterate that, so again, people understand that light and dark is in a perpetual struggle in creation, trying to attain balance, and ultimately driving evolution forward. And I'm not talking about a Darwinian sort of evolution. We'll just leave it as evolution. To help guide you along, the friends I put in green, the foes I put in red. All subject to change, just kidding. So at the top here, we have some of the major players. So a lot of people like David Icke will say that the reptilians are the oldest race in creation. They're not. The oldest race are called the Magians. And the Magians are a tall, blue-skinned type of humanoid, devoid for the most part of emotions or much interest in sex. They don't reproduce a lot. And their main interest is technology and destruction. And they're all vampiric in nature. We talk about vampirism a lot in this book because the idea of vampirism comes generally from reptilian culture, and the idea of werewolves comes from the wolf and Anunnaki, and I'll get into that later. But for now, I just want to point out that the original oldest race in creation are the Magians. They're all vampiric in nature, and by that I don't mean that they drink blood, but they suck the life force out of everything. And they are technically sort of a threat to everyone. The only reason that they are not creating more, how should I say, problems in creation is because there aren't that many of them, which is probably lucky for everybody else. Then over here we have the second oldest race in creation. That's the reptilians. And the biggest reptilian empire, the one that's one of the biggest empires out there, is the Siakar Empire. It used to be known as the Orion Empire, and after that it was called the Aryan Empire. So when you see a lot of books written like Shining the Light, I forget the author of that book series, he wrote it in the 90s, he'll talk about this. There's some other references, a few of them, that talk about the Orion and the Aryan Empire. And most of the information was extracted from a computer that was on a spacecraft that was downed on an Indian reservation. I believe it was Robert Morningsky, who was the Native American who found this extraterrestrial, who was not reptilian, and this extraterrestrial shared a lot of this data. So all the information that's regurgitated over and over prior to the publication of this book has to do with the corrupted information.